Hey guys, it's Lucid. Welcome back to yet another episode in Hello Darkness. I've got two turns for you. And the fact that there's two will probably tell you something about how this first one goes. Because if you recall, we were set up to potentially win the game last turn. And I will spare you the drama, though perhaps you wish I hadn't. But yeah, we didn't. I didn't know I got a famous hero. Iron Will. That's actually not bad at all. So let's see what the hell actually happened this turn. Well, first, we got Earth Attack, which is, for those of you who don't know, an Earth, I think you have to be Earth 5 to cast, and it's a conjuration, high-level conjuration spell, like Conjuration 8, and I think it costs 5 Earth Gems, and it's a remote assassin spell. And I fucking love remote assassin spells. Now, what I did not think was that I really actually had to worry about remote assassins, but apparently I do. Because these guys tend to do pretty well against remote assassins, but I guess in this case they don't. We got another remote assassin here, and I think this guy might have had gear. I can't remember, but the killer he dies too. But I'll just show you. Yeah, he had a skull cap, so that sucks. And they each had a fair amount of astral gems. God, I hate remote assassins. I really do. They're one of the things, too, that especially as you start getting, like, ganged up on, the fact that they're not super economical for the people casting them, it really sucks. That's what it does. We cast Gnome Lore, didn't find anything. And then we did find 2 magic sites, so one of them was the Isle of Death, the other was the Pearl Farm. The problem is, and I probably shouldn't have site searched, because if I found something, I wouldn't be able to keep it. And so anyway, I found 4 gems for fucking Satis. God damn it. And the thing is, if I can actually hold this province to get the gems from it, I win. So really didn't make sense for me to site search there last turn, but I guess I was kind of on autopilot. We also got assassinated a few times. And I'll just show you the battle that happens underwater. So we saw the remote assassin, so let's take a look. Satis coming into the pretty motley crew compared to the grand army of Lemuria. And I do get mass protection off, which, looking at this, I'm thinking I'm going to win. Unfortunately, I didn't have Rigor Mortis up, which I know that wouldn't have mattered, because these guys are undead. So we have Banishment. You can see the Wither Bones coming out, quite effective. Itimu up in the front. And I just don't have quite enough, do I? My guys are spamming Apostasy, and they're not finding much luck. These guys are pretty high MR. And once they group up, Wither Bones gets triggered. What is this guy doing? What are you doing, bro? I think they finally got me with Dust to Dust. So, the final death toll, though. We lost about 260 dudes. This is not a big army for Lemuria, alright? And unfortunately, not much of my stuff is very good. I wonder, did I better have done freaking anti? If I didn't do anti-magic, I'm going to be a little sad. I mean, they did kill a lot of my mages that were there, so actually, we're not even going to watch. Because I think they killed both my mages who probably would have cast anti-magic. Now, unfortunately, because I lost this, I lost the Horticulturalist who had like 20 gems of gear on him. And then I think this Consul had some decent gems on him, though I'm not quite sure. And then Itimu had a tiny bit of gear. So yeah, we gave up some gear. And it didn't really cost him anything. Like almost nothing. The fact that this Tomb King got so many kills tells me we didn't get anti-magic off. I think if we got anti-magic off, I might have survived. But what you gonna do? That is the state of the game that we are in. And then here we got remote attacked by 3 Windmasters. It was unsuccessful. Then we got 2 assassin attacks. One of them worked, one of them didn't. And then here we got... this was actually kind of surprising. I was surprised how effective these guys were. These tramplers aren't that good against ghosts. We summoned some air elementals, but they didn't do very well. And then our 3 sorceresses are dead. So rip. This was expensive for me because I don't have that many. And every sorceress matters. So that's sad. So we lost. This was a painful loss for us. But, you know, on the whole, we killed 3 Empoisoners this turn. And they're cap only, so, you know, there's only so many they're going to get. We cleared a fair amount of his... Okay, we killed 3 of these guys, too. And, okay, we'll go through the kind of normal battle report here. Here, we Cloud Trapeze, we killed some Storm Guard. Here, we caught these idiots, but we died. But it's okay, I mean, whatever. It cost us basically nothing, and it cost him, you know, 50 gold of troops. And then here... we raid Bogarus. So I had asked, and this happened after last episode, but I basically... Bogarus is getting, like, he's got an army on top of his capital and shit. And Gath is bearing down pretty hard on him. So I basically was like, hey dude, can you release me from the nap so I can get in on the spoils? And he said, okay. So anyway, I attacked Bogarus here. And then here... we attacked Satis. So we basically are raiding Satis now, because we're at war, I guess. So might as well see what I can get. Thing is, if I'm raiding him too... This was the battle we watched. If I'm raiding him too, it puts more of an incentive, I think, for him to look for peace. If he's just attacking into me, there's not really much incentive. Here, he takes us back. I guess I had, like, some people who retreated there. I think we killed this guy. Yoink. Don't know which one that was. Okay, that was this one, and Arnberg. And then some more raiding. Okay, this is the battle we lost that little connector to the throne. Here we take a shot at getting this fort. And these guys look pretty unscripted. You would expect them to do, like, water elementals, which aren't going to do that good against ghosts anyway, but, you know, better than nothing. But I think Atlantis is basically done with the game. And that's basically it for this turn. So, we also had Pythium in their nap with me this turn. And they're not going to attack this turn, but they're going to attack next turn. Now, we had a nap 3, but when he ended the nap with me, I was like, you can just tell me whenever you want us to start attacking, and we can do it that turn. And he said he would like to do it, not this turn, but next. So anyway, next turn we'll be having to gear up for Pythium to attack. Now, importantly, he's got these Great Eagles, and these Great Eagles are bosses at tearing down walls. I think they have a siege strength of around 18 per eagle. So let's go ahead and look at them. You get 5 to 6 per cast, so they're like a gem and a half per eagle, and they give you like 18 siege strength. So one casting 8 air gems gives you almost, it gives you about 100 siege strength. So it's pretty phenomenal in terms of how much siege strength you get for these idiots. So anyway, we're going to have to deal with that. And so anyway, these idiots are going to be coming through. Maybe we get to finally see some of the famous Pythium mages. Time will tell. Let's see what else. Yeah, I think that's basically it. Pythium's definitely kind of getting ready to attack. Over here in Calum land, we see there's some guys over here, some guys over here, and some guys over here. Kind of a lot, but looks like kind of normal levels. And he's just doing light raiding with some of these idiots. And we are just basically... We've basically just been raiding him. Here we raided with the Con. And then we found... He's got 2 nature gems here. We've got these idiots over here. They're going to go ahead and attack this border province. And basically, every time he sends these little raiding squads out, we're going to try to send a Grand Lemur on him. And I think I've got a couple that are getting deployed this turn. If I can find them. I think one's coming out of my capital. Drithril is coming out. Or Drithil. And he is, I think, where's he hitting? 134, so he's hitting this one. And then I've got another one, I think, over here. Oh, God help me if I can actually find where all my freaking troops are. You'll just... Okay, this one, Vinsong. So Vinsong is teleporting on 175, which is this one. So we'll just keep killing whoever he sends out here. And that's basically the game we're playing. And we're just trying to make this expensive for him to raid us. Eventually we'll probably have to fight another Kalem army. But anyway, we'll see. I think we're going to break the... You know, hopefully we were going to win this turn, but I don't know. I don't really... Like, we can't go on the offense against Kalem. We're not really going to be able to go on the offense against Gath. Not if he's doing Infernal Disease spam, I don't think. Once we get Army of Gold, I think we have a shot. And we're not that far away from it. We're only like 6 turns away. And then Gath, we have to worry less, I think, about Wrathful Skies, which would be really nasty for me. And we'll have the answer to Firestorm. So Gath we could potentially go for, and maybe... He doesn't really have any thrones. Kalem has a throne, has a couple... Well, he's got this one and this one. And I could try to make a play for this one, I just don't see that actually happening. Pythium, they don't have any thrones near me. And then Satis, they've got this... Satis has 2 thrones. Satis is probably my easiest target to try to get a throne win. If I make peace with Satis, though, which I probably would if I could talk them into it, then I would probably try to neuter Gath's blood economy. Because I think that, for me, I think Gath... I don't know if Kalem... I don't know. I think Pythium and Kalem and Gath all are probably in decent positions. I think Gath's probably in a little better position just being late game. But you can see my dominions spreading all into Arco. And that is going to severely handicap kind of the gains he's hoping to get from... Because he won't be able to blood hunt this. So basically all these lands are going to be shit. You can see he's got a preacher out here trying to preach it down, but not sure how effective it's going to be. We're making Rune Smashers. I need to make more MR pin gear. We are going to get our 2 Wind of Death casters, and we're going to move them over here to Mudwater Caves. From Mudwater Caves, we can Wind of Death either of these provinces, wherever it looks like Pythium is going to head. If he has 60 eagles, though, which is about how many it looks like he's going to have, it'll be about 1,000 siege strength. So that will clearly one turn pop my fort. So we are going to have basically patrolling Wind of Deathers to deal with that, because I can't be having him do that. That's not cool. I need to also try... He's got a Queen of Storms. I really need to kill one of these Queen of Storms and steal her. And by steal, I mean cast it myself. So we'll see. If I get her, even if she's all afflicted, I can put like a shroud on her, and then with recuperation, get her all healed back up. So we're kind of just getting ready for a war on this front. And I don't expect it to be very pretty, but, you know, we'll do what we can. We will do what we can. We're going to be attacking Satis over here, because I guess we're fighting now. I have managed to protect this land long enough to get a fort up. So we're going to basically be sending all these idiots over here. I really wish I had a lab and I could put Thistle Mace on him and have him do mass protection. But we're probably going to have a big fight on top of this fort. We're pretty low mage support. We don't really have gems on most of our... Like, we're not really dropping much in terms of battlefield-wide buffs. And ghosts kind of suck without it, but we're getting a lot of fire elementals out, and so we can probably clear through a lot of the Satisian garbage. So that is the plan over here. And basically we're just going to go raiding Satis. See what he's got. Up here we're going to be attacking Bogarus, or what was Bogarus, getting all his shit. Over here we are going to be storming the fort in Atlantis. This is the same stack. This one actually is probably my stronger stack. It doesn't have a ton of ghosts in it right now, but you know, we got mass protection, we got rigor mortis, we got power of the spheres and advance and cast spells. I guess I probably should be putting up anti-magic. I don't see that anywhere. But I'm not doing darkness. Darkness would also be helpful, but we're doing rain and quagmire on this dude, and then foul vapors. So not exactly the sort of thing Atlantis is going to want to fight into, and he doesn't really have too much to fight left that I can see. And then if we storm and take this, this is obviously a very, very nice province for us to have. At least for a little while until our Dominion gets in there. And it's got a lot of his candles too, so that's actually nice for us. It means his Dominion will not be coming in there anytime terribly soon. And then we're going to raid up this way. And so the hope is to pop this. I think I'm sending enough on top of this Bogarus fort to pop, one turn pop it. And then we will storm in. And then I really, really, really want to get underwater over here and get all these forts. Because this will be very difficult to get me out of. Very difficult to get me out of. All the Atlantis underwater forts are gonna be pretty sweet. I should think, and I don't know if I'm doing this, I need to move more troops up here to reinforce this army. I probably need to do that next turn. And speaking of next turn, let's go ahead and look at it. I kind of got through this one pretty quick. And so for our current turn, where we have even more craziness and debauchery, let's see what happens. So, first of all, we have some global shenanigans. We have first to go. We have Calum casting Maelstrom. Which is interesting. This is the same player that played Relay in my Ulm game, and he cast Maelstrom too. So now he is 2 for 2 for getting Maelstrom off. And then we have Paladana, Harvester, Friend of the Dead, the Hidden One. Yeah, anyway. She casts the Enchanted Forest spell. And I think this overwrites Mother Oak. It's random which one it hit, but I think it hit Mother Oak. And this is an interesting spell. So all forests under neutral or enemy dominion act as if they were temples of the caster's pretender. So this will slightly tucker out my dominion growth. When the dominion has become friendly, it stops spreading. Forests with friendly dominion will spontaneously spawn attacks from the forest, beings in the forest, or neighbors. From forest beings in the province or its neighbors if controlled by an enemy. A strong dominion or a high growth scale helps the effectiveness of the attack. Wastelands are never attacked by the forest creatures. So that's kind of interesting. We're not really set up to contest globals for very well. So this would be a fun thing for us to cast, because obviously we have crazy dom spread anyway, and this would help a little bit with that. And if we get our dominion there, kind of ruin the forests. So would be kind of interesting. Yeah, look at that, 75 death gems, guys. So anyway, that's the situation with globals. We have a few magic phase attacks. Here we defeat these guys. They basically come in, they get soul vortexed, and then they retreat. And then that's basically the exact same thing that happens here. Wait, was that both? Yeah, we didn't kill many of them, which is disappointing. Because I really want to kill them. So, yeah. But Soul Vortex and then Fear, the combo, appears to be scaring them off before we actually kill any of them. Here we get Magic Phase attacked by a Queen of Thunder, who I would love to kill. 21 MR, and then some pretty basic super combatant gear. When you play Dominions a lot, too, it does get tiring when you see people with the same gear. I love it when I see people with creative kits. This is just the most boring bleh kit ever. So boring, but okay. There's way cooler ways to do Queen of Thunder, by the way. If I can manage to steal one of them, I will show you. And then, okay, we had all of this business. We did not, I don't think, find any magic sites this turn, which we're very sad about. But we can't get so lucky every turn. We have a battle here in Golden Mountains. We run into a lot of Satis stuff. And our heroic priest manages to escape, but no one else got out. Fortunately for us, especially with the Bane fire, there was a fair amount of kind of casualties, friendly fire. So we got 50 dudes dead. So this is probably an okay trade for us. I don't know what his undead production per turn is, but I don't think it's a ton. Satis, late age Satis gets, undead free spawn with, but to get it, they basically have to spend death gems to get reanimators. And we're late enough in the game where they can have a lot, but I'm guessing they're at about 100 a turn. So a dent of 50 is noticeable. And then over here, we see 24, we lose 24 dudes. This one, I think we're just patrolling our cap. Oh, we're retreating. I don't actually... Wait, Palme? Did I fuck up? I was patrolling by somebody with retreat orders. That was dumb. You're not supposed to do that. So anyway, we would have actually killed those guys, so that's too bad. I had enough guys where we would have been able to kill 22. But not paying attention to details apparently matters. Down here, we have a battle with Satis. We clear out some PD, which is what Lemuria is exceptionally good at. We raid Bogaroos. We raid the Mount Kings, which were near Bogaroos. Here we raid Kalem. Whoops. Here we have Kalem raid us. And then here Kalem sends his King of Earth Elementals. And he's got the Star of Heroes, which is unfortunate. That was my item, fucker. And he's sending this guy over here. He does not have much defense, and his attack is not phenomenal. Anyway, he kills one PD. Over here, we lose some idiots to raiders. Wait, where is this? Oh, this actually is unfortunate. These guys who are here, they retreated from my magic phase attack. So there was nobody there, but they retreated and then they met these guys and then that's how they died. So quite unfortunate. And then we have the big battle of the turn. This is with Satis. We kind of moved on top of that fort and Satis brought Airbody. So he has a bigger army than me. And I don't know. Let's see what buffs he drops. I think it's mostly Skelly Spam and Banefire. But we're about to make a shit ton of fire elementals. And then this guy does flame eruption and just nukes people in the front. Flame eruption doing a lot of work, but just a huge amount of Skelly Spam. Now, these are not white mages, and so what does that mean? It means if I had put up Rigor Mortis, they would be all fatigued out now. But instead, there's more undead production coming out. Flame Eruption doing some work. I hit Thom 7. I did a switch, like a little juggle. Or no, Thom 6. A little juggle of research priorities so that I would be able to spam Wither Bones in this fight. And so you can see my Grand Lemur dropping Wither Bones. And Flame Eruption just doing huge amounts of work. Unfortunately, our fire elementals are kind of trapped in here, which I was a little worried about, but what are you going to do? I'll pick up the speed here. And basically the ghosts retreat. And the fire elementals are kind of trapped behind the ghosts, and there's just too much skelly spam. And so we're overrun. Skelly spam wins the day. We've got one Grand Lemur over here. I don't think he has gear on him. I think he's naked. Yeah. Waywinkle. Waywinkle fights on like a boss. But only for so long. So we don't kill any of his mages. And he kills basically all of our stuff. But what did he really kill? He killed 3 Shadow Tribunes. And then 2 of these guys. I think one of them made it off. So I mean, that's 300 gold worth of stuff. Now, we didn't really kill much in terms of gold. I mean, he's got these guys, which technically cost some gold. But we basically did a reset on his army count. And this was his big, scary army. So, he has some stuff left, mostly the Sacred Serpents. And some crossbowmen. And then everything else basically died. And this was like weak sauce for our army. If we had done mass protection, we would be in a very different spot. But I didn't want to even... Well, you gotta be careful with mass protection and fire elementals in the same fight. But anyway. I'm not very scared of these human mages. These human mages, I can put them to sleep with rigor mortis. It's his Twiceborn mages that are scary to me. But still, I would say this was... mutually destructive. Where was this? Yeah, mutually destructive. We basically killed each other's shit, and I don't think this is terribly good or decisive for either of us. Technically, he won, but he didn't win anything, really. So we'll see. Here, Calum is raiding me. We are raiding Atlantis. Here, Calum is moving a ginormous stack on top of one of our forts. And I had been setting up some patrollers to deal with maybe, like, weak sauce people coming in. But this is not weak sauce. This is like a huge Calum army. And so they collapse and destroy all the ghosts. So that made me very sad. Another 200 ghosts down. Now, when you combine these, we lost... Aside from the kind of the piddly losses we've had, kind of all over the place, which I'm not going to take the time to add up. We lost 200 here, and then in our battle with Satis, we lost 540. Really, we lost all 6... Well, no, we lost 520. So, about 720 we lost there between both of those. And then here we lost like another 40. So let's call it we lost 800 troops when you add up all the piddly stuff. But this was actually us taking a fort, which I'll just show you real quick. Actually, let's watch that again, because there's Cloud of Death happening at the end. That's kind of cool. We haven't really seen that. We could cast too much. It's like slow, we're kind of grinding into each other, and then you see Cloud of Death get cast. Oh, wow. There's a Goblin Volley, actually. Not a Goblin, Javelin. And then Cloud of Death gets cast. Oh, he survives Cloud of Death. How about that? So, anyway, we also stole a Tungalik, which is kind of cool. So, that is that. And... yeah, welcome to your turn. And there's 1,000 siege strength sitting outside your fort. So, we have a few things we have to do. The other thing is there's a shit ton of Therogs up here. And now Therogs, I want to look at them real quick. Therogs are solid units. They're cheap. They're Astral 1. And they have good cross paths, kind of. I mean, the air is pretty phenomenal. So, yeah. We've, there's probably, these guys are probably going to be spamming Soul Slay and shit, that's my guess. And then, I don't know, doing Fog Warriors or something else stupid. And then he's got a Queen of Storms leading the Eagles. Now, they can jump around, like they could pop this potentially. And I don't think I want to fight them head on, though I potentially could. But I have to decide. There's not a lot of fire. Well, he could definitely do Firestorm. So we have to see. I think I want to do this in layers. The problem is this Queen of Storms could pop like this fort with the Eagles, or this one. So I think all the ones which are potentially close to being popped, I need to have like an army moving, patrolling here or something to knock potentially armies off, you know, these forts that could anyway, you know what I mean. But I expect he's going to move the whole stack here, Eagles included. It would be pretty ballsy for him to jump around. But he could. He's got some idiots up here. These I'm not really worried about. I potentially could raid this. It's got Misties and Menaids and Satyrs. And knocking down these temples would be, I think, pretty helpful. And I could send a Timu. So it's definitely something I'm considering. I think that's probably a good idea. Pythium's not that big. And I need to raid Pythium over here too, but anyway. This fort, which Calum hopped on top of, he almost popped. It's only got 40 siege strength left. So we're going to have a big battle to kick Calum off. I could also choose to Wind of Death him, but I don't have much magic pin gear. All my magic pin gear I have is on the Jamin. And actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I was going to mind hunt this queen. But there's probably a scout here from somebody. And she has pretty high MR. I think she's got, what? Let's take a look at what it is. 21. So Mind Hunt is going to be with this gear. It's 3-pin. Basically, I'm thinking, anyway, 3-pin versus 21. It's going to be effectively 18 versus 12. That's going to be like a 10% chance. Worth the gems, but I don't know if it's worth the equipment turns at this point. I think it's not. Compared to the other things I could be doing with it. So, we'll have to see. I was going to Mind Hunt, but I don't think we're going to. I think I want to put this on you. And this guy's going to move and patrol here. And I'm going to give him like a group of dudes around him. He's also got Ritual of Returning, so if he gets hit, he'll just jump home. But yeah, he's just going to do Wind of Death spam and then jump out. And I'm going to have some guys here. I guess this idiot. I don't need that many. Holding fire. Closest, and then... yeah, I'll put you actually back here. So anyway, this should work pretty well. We should be able to get these off reasonably easily. We could get magic dueled. I think if you're Pythium, you definitely are scripting magic duels on Therags. But we'll find out. And this is all stuff I can kind of afford to lose. But magic duel would be a dick punch. We'll see. If he does magic duel, I potentially could be in trouble. Timu will actually be really important, because that way I can get Rigor Mortis off without having an Astral Mage. Yeah. So, we've got these guys coming in. Over on this front, I decided not to attack Satis down here. Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be tricky. You can see Bogarus is popped too. So we've got a scout coming in, so we should be able to see the final battle of Bogarus. But I expect it will be a stomping. Gath has armies over here. I don't know if Gath is going to move to his right and start taking out Satis, or if... I actually sent a diplo message to Satis. Let me see if he's responded. Okay, yeah, no, he hasn't replied yet. So, I've sent Satis a message, since we've now killed each other's shit, and said, hey, if you want to nap, you know, it would protect this throne, and also kind of protect this one. So, in that way, it seems safe, but, you know, we can have a defensive alliance against Gath, so... I think for Satis, like, if Satis is playing to win, and I would give back these territories to Satis, I didn't say that, but I think that's kind of implied. I think for Satis to win, like, it's not a... Late Age Satis isn't super strong, so they've got to be in a really solid mid-game position. So he would need to eat, basically, Bogarus, all of Bogarus' stuff, and then he would probably need to eat part of Kalem or part of Gath. I don't think he's going to be able... Like, this is a kind of weird terrain for him to move through and, like, quickly conquer Gath, but I don't know. He's got to probably make plays that aren't me. You know, the other thing, though, is if I have a lot of death gems in my lands, which I might, he does have something to gain from attacking me, because Satis loves death gems. So, anyway, I don't know if he'll do it. In some ways, he might not want to hop off the bus when everybody else is attacking me. Gath hasn't ended his nap with me, so I don't know what Gath is thinking, but I would not be surprised if he takes Bogarus this turn and then ends his nap. That'll be one more thing to fucking deal with. We've taken a detour because this is kind of how it works. You're like, oh, I want to get alt 9, and you start working on it, and you're like, fuck, I really need construction 6. Like, I really need the cast range items so that I can do, if I do end up getting this for a turn, I can do Living Castle on it. So, or, yeah, is that what it's called? Yeah, Living Castle. So that will be important. I need to get that arcane lens. Like, if I had that arcane lens, I would have won the game last turn, probably. I don't think I have any way of, like, gating an army in or something like that here, but that would be clutch if I could. Like, my god could lead a lot of undead. Zap him in, have him drop some kind of... Actually, he can't really drop much. Some nature stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, guys. I just play this game. So yeah, we're in a bit of a situation, because I don't really have the resources to attack much. And we've got some really serious threats coming in for me to deal with. If I can kill this Kalem army, like, if he stays here, I think I can kill it, because I can foul vapors it, and, like, mass protection. He could bait and switch, which is totally something this player would do. So we'll see. We'll see. Okay, so I had to pause it for a minute, and I totally forgot what I was saying before the pause, because it's been like 30 minutes, even though for you it's been literally 1 second. So yeah, we've got to figure out what we're going to do. I'll just tell you, we're going to have a Foul Vapors battle here. And I'll probably use Ga to do Wailing Wind, and... You know, in theory, I could hit this... You know, I could hit this army with Wind of Death. And it may be worth it, because it's pretty big. And there's no nature mages to do mass regen, even though it wouldn't matter, because these guys don't live that long. I'm more inclined to just fight and try to kill everybody. There's some things I have to worry about a little bit, like he's probably going to do Life After Death, and then he's probably going to do Wailing Winds. Fuck. And I don't really want to cast Wailing Winds, I want to kill his shit. Maybe it is worth doing a Wind of Death cast. And I think I have... Yeah, I have one of these if I'm not going to be doing... Yeah, maybe I Wind of Death this too. Have them get the fuck out. The only problem is I don't really have many other death mages in position to do useful things. Like if I have to actually have a battle. So ideally I remedy that somehow. I'm not sure how I'm going to do that. It's going to be a turn or two before my other guys respawn. I guess this guy, we're getting 2 Grand Lemurs. I guess we actually, okay, we can get here. Okay, we can get to both of these provinces from here. So if I have 2 more Boots of the Messenger, which I could go ahead and forge pretty trivially here. That means I'll be able to get both Grand Lemurs in. And then they can follow up for a real battle. And then I'll have this guy. So I potentially could have 3 Grand Lemurs next turn. Come in and drop my death stuff. And these 2 idiots, who are going to be teleported back to my cap if they don't get magic dueled. So, we have to figure out what we're going to do. You know, I probably could come up with gear to kill this bitch, too. Yeah, honestly, just a Moonblade would murder her. Yeah, Moonblade and fire resistance, and then shock resistance. Get the fuck out. Shit. And if I kill her... If I kill her, I get potentially a shot at summoning her myself. But I'd have to use that guy, I think. Who do I have? I mean, Sakane, he's got my Eye of the Void. Can he make it? How far can he go? Not very far. I mean, he's still got pretty good stats. We might be able to get Sakane up to do it. So, to do this job, you need copper plate. Probably also need this. This is a 2-handed weapon. It doesn't really need boots. That would be nice to have quickness boots, but we don't have that tech yet. Okay, they're out of range. Sakane, he was up for it, but we're going to have to leave him there. Who left? I don't think... It would have to be this guy. Now, maybe I have a team... Well, fuck. I don't want to have an immortal bound to a province I may not hold. Yoy, 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 yoy. Maybe this is the play. Maybe we take the Skull Staff off Ga, and we put it over here. And this is very safe, actually, Phlegra. This is like home turf now. And I kind of need some immortals on this part of the world. So maybe... Yes, this is what we're going to do. We're going to take... I have to rename you. One second, I'm going to pause. Okay, I have decided to name you Robin. In honor of the great and wise Robin. Okay, so Robin actually is going to get on Air Queen killing duty. Now you may ask yourself, how are we going to do that? Well, if you are, then you weren't paying attention when we just kitted him out. We are going to need some fire gear. Now we're going to be completely immune to the shock attacks. We'll be not immune to the fire, but we have this, which will kind of help. And we'll cut this guy in freaking half. 35 damage attack, so this will kill him in 2 hits. We have pretty high attack. Let's look at his defense. $17 is not that good. 23 protection, which he's probably thinking, oh, I'm hot shit. The worst part of this is going to be mirror image, because he's going to have a lot of mirror images. It's going to be hard to hit just from that. So we're going to have to survive several of these 24 damage attacks. Now we're going to get hit with 14 AP damage. You know, his defense is high enough, too, that the more I think about it, I'm going to need... I think I need higher attack and more fire resistance. A linked to Firebrand. I definitely don't want to get repelled. Let's take another look at Robin over here. So, okay, this is linked to, so we're not going to get repelled. 35. See, I'm kind of feeling like this Burning Pearl will work. Now we're really immune to the Firebrand part of it. And then it's just going to be if we get actually popped. Will we get popped? We have really high defense, 23. So how often is he going to be hitting me? These little things might fuck with my defense. I might get a harass penalty from them. This one's only 18 attack. You know, potentially... it could be better with a pike, because with a pike, I'm now going to get a repel. And does it? I don't think they have perfect morale. I don't remember. No, their morale's 30. Okay, so we're not repelling. The main thing we have to do is survive long enough to get through mirror image. Awe is not going to be helpful as part of our bless. This will basically double my... oh man, but if we get hit, we're going to get hit so hard. So let's figure out on average how often we're going to get hit. 23 defense. Let's say it gets harassed down to 20, and it's versus 17 attack. We'll get hit 2 out of 3 times. I'm sorry, 1 out of 3 times. And then... when it hits, we're going to get hit for like 25 AP damage. So that will be coming in at 7 versus 25. So like 15. 12. I don't know. No, more. Like 17. What the hell am I talking about? 18. Yeah, so we're going to be getting hit for 18. That's a lot. We're only going to be regenning like 3 per turn. If we get hit every 3 turns, we'll have regenerated 9 hit points for every time we get hit, but we get hit for 18. So we'll get killed. Oh no, but half the time we're going to block the damage. So the half the time we block the damage... maybe the Burning Pearl isn't it. Maybe I need this. The half the time we block the damage, that means we're going to be getting close to 18 per. And this will bump us up where we could take... I don't know. I mean, we could take 2 hits, maybe not in a row, but in near succession and not die. I think we have a pretty good shot. If I wanted to be super safe, I should teleport somebody else in too. But he could just retreat also. So he definitely can kill me. Let's figure out what we'll do for our script. I mean, his MR is going to be pretty high. Astral Shield's not going to be super effective. Twist Fate would be effective because it's going to... We have pretty high defense. So, and this also is going to bump our regeneration up with the... This will bump it up to 4 per turn. So we do a little bit of Unholy Blessing. That'll get us starting at the very beginning to regenerate up to our full HP, because we put the Amulet of Giants on at the end. Or this turn, so he hasn't gotten up to his full HP yet. Then we do... he does have a Vine Shield, so Unholy Protection is going to be important. And we are going to want... We don't want to miss any of our attacks. We're going to miss them from Mirror Image, but we don't want to miss them for anything other than that. So I think we're going to do Unholy Power. And then I think we're going to do... This is not... Nothing here is really going to help with the type. He's going to do slashing damage. So... None of this is going to help. Soul Vortex not going to help much. What will potentially help is Twist Fate. And Astral Shield would help a little, but not much. Help a little if we're getting harassed. MR negates. We're going to be 15. Reduced by weapon length, which in his case is going to be 2. I don't know if this will proc. This might proc for every attack. In which case his little lightning things could trigger it too. I think we'll put it on. Let's test this out, guys. I think this will work. I have a test game set up where it will be actually pretty easy for me to test it. This will deny you some of the pleasure of finding out for the first time, but we're going to go ahead and look at it. And I happen to have Calum here. Oh, wait. So we just need to make sure we have the right gear, which in our case is going to be a Moonblade and a Fire Hat and a Copper Shield, or, yeah. And then over on this side, we need an Amulet of Giants. And we need... Well, we'll just do that real quick. Amulet of Giants, and then I need a Dancing Shield. And then on Calum's front, we are going to need... well, first we need to summon a Queen of Air Elementals. And then we are going to need gear for her, and she had a Firebrand, a Vine Shield, an Iron Hat, Armor of the Knights, and then an Amulet of Anti-Magic and a Ring of Regen. And I think all that she did... Actually, I can't even remember what she did. It was only 2 spells, I think. I think she just came in, and I think she cast Mirror Image. I think that's it. I have no idea if she cast anything else. She could have done Mist Form. I guess that could make sense. And then attack rear. And then on Lemuria's side, we were saying get some idiot like this guy. And then toss on this stuff. And then send him in. And Unholy Blessing, Unholy Power, Unholy Protection, Twist Fate, attack Flyers. How about that? Okay. Who do you think won? I think the queen probably won. I'm not feeling very confident about this. But it has a lot to do with RNG. He's down to... Oh, he's okay. He's reaching up like a champ. He's not getting a harass penalty, which I kind of thought he would get more. 3 is not that much. Meanwhile, home slice over here. We'll just pull this up. I'll just show you what's kind of happening here. Okay, so we got Unholy Power off. So now we're going to... Mist Grand Lemur. Okay. With Moonblade, Mirror Image negated damage, right? So we're hitting him, but the Mirror Image is negating it. Okay, and now we finally popped it. Smacked him in the face. And then she's dead. Pretty effective. Were we heroic before that? I don't think so. We weren't. We did have 2 experience stars, which will help. A good bit, actually. But man, we did not even... I thought we would die... Like, potentially die much faster. But he's really missing a lot. And then the 4 regen, combined, I think, with the protective shield... Yeah. I think it's worth rolling the dice, because if we win, we potentially... we're going to be set up to cast it that turn. And then obviously we're going to deny it. And I can make better use of that Queen of Air Elementals, and he's going to. I can do some unholy things with the Queen of Air Elementals. Now, why, you may ask? It's because I've stole it from fuckers who play against me. And watch them do cool shit, and I'm like, oh man. Well, I wasn't smart enough to think of it myself, but I'm smart enough to copy it. Sometimes that's just as smart as you need to be. So I think we're going to do it. I feel pretty confident that will work. We need to also go back over here to Phlegra and do a Grand Lemur summoning. We are going to be somewhat depleted for having Grand Lemurs available for like a major battle with this, because we're teleporting out the one we have. What I may need to do, and this is going to kind of increase the cost... Oh, fuck. I don't really have any death gems. I was going to say I could load him up with death gems, but... Well, Robin's probably going to have to participate in a major fight. So we'll give him some pearls so he can do this. And then... I mean, Astral Shield... Oh, we didn't really test Astral Shield. We'll do it one more time. If you guys are bored, I know you're going to click off, but you're going to be... Well, some of you have probably clicked off already, but those of you who have stayed, you're wondering, was this a fluke? Would it happen again if Calum had another air elemental miraculously appear? And the answer is, I have no freaking idea, but we're about to find out. Armor of Knights, Ring of Regen, and an Amulet of Anti-Magic. And then Lemuria, Plague Vomit. I want somebody who's not holy. I mean, who's not heroic. So let's get somebody else. Winter Breath, you come over here. And then Calum, let's send in the Goon Squad. Wait, did I not get a Queen of Air Elementals? Or am I blind? I think indeed I did not get one. Okay, we got one with a chest wound. Fuck. Well, we don't want a chest wound. Let's get another one. Aaliyah, let's give you your kit. If you walk in and do the same thing, a mirror image, and then... God, you know what might be good? I bet you Drain Life could zap the shit out of her. Or like Hand of Death? Shit. We're going to try Hand of Death, because I don't think mirror image will negate that. Okay. And then on Lemuria's side, let's copy the script over and give the gear and get you out. Take these idiots with you. And then you're going to hang out. But I think what I want to do is, instead of this Twist Fate, let's do a little Hand of Death action. See how you like them apples. It's short. Okay. Well, I think we know who won that fight. Feeling much more confident about that. Hand of Death, never knew it was so good. Damn. Alright. Prepare thyself, Queen of Air Elementals. This is actually why you watch this channel. It's not for me actually going through the turn. It's for when I playtest shit. And you see crazy stuff like, oh, apparently Hand of Death is what you really need to be doing. Now, if he's smart, he will have put her to retreat and move her to another province, because he's thinking, if I get magic phased attacked, then I'm dead. But if he's greedy, he'll be thinking, I need her to go do something else. But so far, this player's pretty smart. I'd say the odds of me actually hitting her, of him being greedy, probably like, I think they're higher than 1 in 5, but I think they're less than 1 in 2, like less than half. So let's go ahead and do Hand of Death. Put us all the way at the back. I mean, this seems pretty bomber. We're 2 for 2 in the test. How bad could it be? Yeah, so now the only problems we're going to have are, do we have... Yeah, so Wind of Death Trap here. Hopefully we hit all of his fucking mages, and hopefully he doesn't do Mass Regen. Mass Regen is not going to save the mages. It won't save the birds either. They're still going to die from age. Though it may be worth... I think it's probably worth breaking out here too. What's my siege strength here? 228. Here it's what? 163. I think I send Miniature Colossus over here. And he can bump these idiots off this fort. Because he is not going to give a fuck about them. So I think he moves... Oh yeah, he moves over here and knocks him off. I think his script's probably okay, isn't it? Yeah. He will kill a lot of birds. And we have them hang tight. What I'm thinking he may try to do is like move these guys over here for a big fight, and then maybe put the queen on top to kill people I'm using to break out. But the queen's probably going to be dead if he does that. And he's got this king here. This guy has, I think, 21 MR, 20 MR, 21. Yeah. This guy is worth mind hunting, but I need all the pin gear, and I don't really have it yet. So we've got to deal with that. But... And these guys, let's take a look at their MR, because they're in Magic Dominion, which means they're going to get wrecked. Yeah, it's base 11, but it's going to be 10. I don't think he even has an Astral Mage here. Though potentially he could have one coming in. It's one thing people haven't really cast that much versus me is Anti-Magic. Anti-Magic's always good to cast against Lemuria. Now, Calum is not an Astral Nation, but... So yeah, anyway, we'll plug it in. Well, we can kind of know. If we hit him with 2 Magic Pin and it's a check against 12, which I think it is, then it would be like they're at 8 versus 12, which would mean we're going to hit 2/3 of them. So 2/3 will die. We'll leave most of the mages, but then we can take care of them the next turn. I think that's what we do. Do these guys have better? Slightly better. That'll kill most of the troops, and then it's just mages, which I'm pretty sure I know how to deal with those. But Wind of Death, I'm going to just have too many guys retreat. Or Wailing Winds, I'm going to have too many guys retreat. So I think that is the play. I think we're going to load you up and send you in here, and I think we're going to give you 10... Oh shit, I can't even cast the second guy. Unless I scrounge gems off somebody, like Sakane. Thank you, sir. And we're going to have to give him some guys to kind of come with him. Now, you can do Power of the Spheres before you do this, but what you typically want is to get off 3 as fast as you can before they put up Anti-Magic. So I think what we're going to do... And actually, you know, thinking about it, the gear is probably safer on Ga than on... Hold an attack. I'll put some more guys over here. Hold an attack. Okay. This, I think, will be okay. I'm going to put more guys in this group. Well, that's probably too much. Okay. We're getting too much of a morale penalty. These guys aren't great commanders, but I think it's actually worth taking this from Jamin and putting it on Ga. Because Jamin is more likely to die to a magic duel. So I think he moves and patrols here. Hits these guys with him. And then Ga comes over here and knocks everybody off and retreat. No, I think we're going to do flight and then retreat. So we'll retreat if we can, but most likely we get knocked in the head, and then Ritual of Returning is going to kick, and then we'll go home. But not before we get 2 and hopefully 3 castings of Winds of Death off. And here we're going to knock the dog crap out of them with Wind of Death. Here we're going to knock them off our throne. Down here we've got the King of the Mountains. I could potentially... No. I kind of need more Moonblades with all these elemental royalty floating around. Because just a guy with, especially if I fluff them, which I could easily do. What are these guys' base stats? Defense 15? That's not very good. I'm trying to think what I'd do. I mean, ideally I'd do consoles. But a few consoles with Moonblades will do wonders. Anyway, we'll find out, but that's basically the brunt of the plan. We'll see if Satis gets back to me. Ideally, Satis and I make peace. I give him back some of the stuff I've raided, and I let him kind of go to town on Gath/Bogaroos. If that happens, then it's going to take the heat off me with Gath, and meanwhile, I will have, I think, the resources to deal with Pythium and Pythium and Calum. We're going to do the normal thing. The difference that we're going to have fighting Pythium is he's going to be able to one-turn pop my forts, and that we're not very happy about, obviously, which is why we're setting up all these Wind of Death traps and stuff. But if he can one-turn pop my forts, we're going to be in a bit of trouble. Because I don't know if we're really poised to respond to that very well. A lot of my my dudes are in the death part of their cycle, so we're not very happy with our Grand Lemur numbers, and my empire's so big, they're all kind of getting spread out over different places too. Like I've got, I think, one down here with a console, and I think I have a Grand Lemur somewhere over in this. Yeah, I've got one over. Where the hell are you? Here. Then I've got a few up here. Then I had some up here, but they all died. So they'll be respawning. Okay, I only had one. He'll be respawning in 3 turns. 2 turns ago, I had 2 die down here. No, 3 or 4 die. 4 die down here. So not this turn, not next turn, but turn after, I should get them in my. So in like 2 turns, I should get 3 more popping up here. So we'll see. We're a little low on Grand Lemur numbers right now, but hopefully we remedy that as soon as we can. The other thing that I think just bears mention, Maelstrom went up. I could potentially try to contest Maelstrom. I have an underwater fort and a lab, which means you have to cast it underwater. It would be a little. I have the pass. I just have to get a sea troll. Like I could just send the Sea King underwater, and we could try to cast it this turn. It's probably not a bad idea. The problem is these idiots will then try to pull and take it down. So I'm not very excited about that. But leaving it with Calum is maybe also not a great idea. I could ask Pythium if he's interested in partnering. Pythium seems very trustworthy. And if I went halvesies with Pythium, I could just send him half of the gems. But I don't know. My water income is 21, so getting Maelstrom up would be significant. I get 15 pearls, 15 water gems, and then 5 pearls, so it would be really nice. But I don't know. Getting Vengeful Water up is potentially game-winning for me. And so it's the sort of thing, if I put Maelstrom up and it gets taken down, it takes wind out of my sails, you know? Because it's going to really set me back on like a 400 or 500 cast of Vengeful Water. But if I could keep it up, it's going to deny those gems from Calum, and then I'm going to get them. But I don't think I can easily do that. I don't think I can keep it up. I think too much of the world hates me right now. So, like, if I put up a global, instantly everybody's going to try to pull and take it down. Except Will of Misery, because I was the 3rd person to cast it. So I don't know. The other thing, and the final thing, and I know this has been a long episode now, is these guys look like they're coming into attack, but we took this fort, which, very nice, by the way. So, anyway, we probably are going to have to come down here and defend this fort. And there's a King of Flames here, too. So the other thing is, if I kill the King of Flames, yoink, I can steal him. And then we're being graded down here. I don't know if I care, except there's a big army, which can potentially crack the fort. Like, if this army moves on, they'll crack it. And they'll have the King of Magma, and then I'll be forced. They'll probably just send the King of Magma inside, and he'll kill everybody. So, I probably need to figure out what I'm going to do. I think if I had 1 Death Mage, I would feel way more confident. Like, in theory, Off My Porch could go. I think what makes sense is to prepare for a big fight this turn. I send one of these guys down. Do I have... Shit. Yeah, I could just teleport people inside. But I'm not terribly excited, especially like King of Flames. He could do, like if I do Mass Protection, he can do Firestorm. So I don't really want to have my fort popped with one of the elemental royalty on top of my fort. And then have a battle inside. That's really bad for me, actually. I think what I do is I attack here with the crossbows. Get them out. And I can move the Bobo with some idiots under his command over here, with some trolls. And the trolls, they do have fire weakness, so they'll kind of get wrecked by the King of Magma, but they hit hard, so they can maybe kill him if they get in melee. But they also, the King of Magma probably has fire shield and stuff too, I can't remember, but we can then potentially have a battle outside the fort. But then I would have to teleport in this turn, which means I would kind of gimp this force here, where there's another, so King of Flames here, King of Magma here. So I've got to figure this out. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm pretty sure he's going to move this army on top this turn. And I need a way to break it. And I don't have many good options at the moment. I have to be really scared about Firestorm, too. Doing rain and stuff will help a little bit. Once I get Alt 8, too, I get Warriors of Niflheim, which will give me fire resistance, so that'll help a fair amount. Because if we look at Firestorm, it doesn't say, but I think it's like 8 fire AP damage over 50% of the battlefield every round. So that'll make it where I don't insta-die from it. But I won't have that for 2 turns. I also, from this place, I get Hydromancer, so I'm getting some of those. And we'll have one coming out this turn. I probably should turn this on repeat recruitment, because I'm definitely going to be able to make use of them. It means I don't have to waste gems on things like Sea Kings. I just don't have enough mage support on this part of the world, is really the simple answer. So anyway, that's it. I have to figure out what the fuck I'm going to do as I'm getting attacked by basically everyone. And I am spread super thin. The final thing we're going to do is I'm going to show you score graphs, because it's been a while. But anyway, province count, you can see looking good, even though we're in this period of what feels like, seems like, by all accounts, is hardship. We're doing good on the province graph. Forts, even better. And then income, we're not up at our heyday, but we're holding strong. Unfortunately, what you can't see here is my real income, after upkeep, and that's been coming down because my upkeep, here is probably my upkeep graph. It's probably almost a straight line coming right up till here. So we're getting a little upkeep constrained, which is scary as Lemuria, because very quickly you can not be able to hire any more troops. We may have to look at doing some kind of mass suicide with foul vapors and life after death to our research mages. Gym income took a little dip, but we're still in the good place. Research, not bad. Dominion, I think this is actually 2 turns that it's been flat, or maybe it's only 1. I feel like it's 2. It looks like only 1. But it's a little flat, but that's okay. People are fighting to push our Dominion back, I guess, on one of the fronts. Army size, you can see we actually took a sizable dip. I think we lost 800 troops this turn. So that means we're probably producing 650 is my guess. We're probably producing 650 a turn. And then Ascension points, you can see we're scaring the shit out of people. So anyway, that is it for the game so far. I've still got to finish this turn, but thank you for watching and see you next time.